As some of you know, I'm a big fan of taking the LCS on the road outside of Los Angeles. It sucks that we only get to visit 2 places a year that aren't in LA, and even sometimes that second spot's in California again. So there's a lot of other spots that deserve some love.
I keep having this nagging feeling that I've forgotten something.
Hey, if you forgot it, it probably wasn't all that important.
Yeah, I guess.
So I asked a hypothetical to the 100 Thought.
What did he say?
Thought? Jesus. 100 Talk podcast. If you could add 2 additional stops for Spring Split for the 2 weekends, make it a 3-weekend long road show, the same way that we do for Worlds, but for LCS playoffs, what stops would you add? Here's what they gave me.
Duluth, Minnesota. It's a great town. And Champaign-Urbana to get the Assembly Hall going. I mean, this
What a terrible answer.
Right?
Come on, man. So I mean, I don't think we have to avoid repeats, but I think Miami is an amazing location for it because it's really awesome for the players and for the content. You know what I mean? Like, you could do some sick stuff around Miami, and I loved it when it was there back in 2018. Burton just said DC. There we go. That's the other one. I love that idea. DC. So Miami and DC are what I'm adding.
I have an actual honest answer that keeps a lot of macro factors in mind. If there are people that are traveling from outside of the country that want to come watch the LCS, because there's a non-negligible portion of people that might, maybe like 100 or so, you want to make it so that they don't have to fly everywhere and travel cross-country to do so. So I'm going to keep it logistically to the East Coast-ish, depending on how you classify one of the cities that's on my list. Starting off, and I love one of the suggestions that they had, and this is top of my mind already, is Washington, D.C. Hitting the DMV area where you get Maryland, you get Virginia, and you get Delaware and that area as well. Like, you can't beat that. That's an untapped market that we just don't get to touch. And I think, honestly, that would be perfect for the second weekend. I don't think you start there, but I do think that's the second spot. The first weekend, I want it to be a playoff celebration. I want to party hard for 4 days of games and just get people blitzed out of their mind and happy. And we're going to be doing that in Nashville, Tennessee, which is conveniently about a 9-hour drive from Nashville to DC. And then you go from DC to Raleigh. So you basically make one big triangle. And I just think it would be fun. I think it would be a blast to just have more locations that are accessible, but also you're close enough to the 3 different spots that if you want to make a month-long holiday out of this, or like a month-long trip and travel to all the different venues, you can. You could just rent a car and take the 10-hour drive that you need to make over, what, 4 days? Because games end on a Sunday for the first weekend, and then you don't play again until, say you have this on weekends, obviously, so people can go. You have 5 days in between. That'd be fine. That'd be great. It'd be amazing. Now, would it cost a lot? Yeah. And you would need to introduce several different revenue streams before we get to the point where it's actually viable and a option that we can have, including like merch, other sponsorship activations in all the different venues. You got to pump out content in each city while you're there, or at least as much as you can, using talent rather than the players, because the players are obviously going to be busy practicing for playoffs. I just think it'd be fun. Let me know your thoughts, though. What 3 cities would you go to, assuming you're trying to keep it logistically okay, that finals are still going to end up in Raleigh? How would you do it?